Weaponized vehicles are, at least in my opinion, the most fun class in the game. And there's obviously a boatload of different weaponized vehicles in the game. You've got things like the Insurgent, which you need other people to really make effective due to the fact you've got the minigun on the roof. Then you've got the Oppressor and the Toreador with their missile firing capabilities. But out of all the weaponized vehicles in the game, the remote minigun is always going to be my favorite. And I think a lot of you are going to agree on this take. Being able to drive a vehicle and then just blast whatever it is with a minigun, which will destroy literally any car, any NPC, or anything, is just, it's a blast. I mean, look at how fast we can destroy this cop car. That is absolutely crazy. But a lot of the weaponized vehicles that feature a remote minigun have downsides. There's only 3 in total. We have the Weaponized Tampa, we have the Vapid Speedo Custom, and then the one which we're going to be focusing on in today's video being the Weaponized Ignus, which I consider to be one of the best all-round weaponized vehicles in the entirety of Grand Theft Auto Online. Today's video is going to be breaking into why it's so good. We're going to be comparing it to the Speedo Custom and as well the Tampa, so you can see what strengths it has over the other two. So let's start off very briefly with the Vapid Speedo Custom. This vehicle does have some major advantages over the Weaponized Ignus. It's incredibly cheap. In fact, you get it for free just by purchasing a nightclub. And it doesn't matter what level you are, you have all of the upgrades immediately unlocked, so you're not gate-kept by bunker research like the Weaponized Tampa. That alone is obviously super nice. Some other great things about the Vapid Speedo Custom are that it has semi-bulletproof glass. We can see when I'm shooting at the glass here, it doesn't break, and all of this metal plating on the front glass actually counts as armor, which means that it's very hard to actually take damage while in this vehicle. Downsides, first of all, it cannot take any explosions. That's a big downside. The other massive downside is that it obviously cannot be used in missions because it's part of your nightclub. So unfortunately, any mission that you start or any setup for anything, you're not going to be able to use the Vapid Speedo Custom. And I feel like that's really disappointing because missions are where I mainly see these weaponized miniguns being useful. So because of that, while I do love the Speedo Custom, I have to say it's going to come into third place for the 3 vehicles. The Weaponized Tampa. Now, the Weaponized Tampa also has its fair share of downsides. I would say the biggest one is the fact that the only way to upgrade it is by getting bunker research completed. That sucks. Bunker research, especially for players that don't want to spend 8 years of their life unlocking it, it's just really annoying. It's super boring. And yeah, that's really the biggest complaint I have from the Weaponized Tampa is that major fact. But there is a couple other problems. Once again, cannot survive any explosions. And the armor is not anything impressive. Like, as we can see, not a single bullet is going to struggle cutting through the glass, which means that if you're using this vehicle for missions, it's pretty easy to just die when trying to kill enemy NPCs. It does have a lot of weapons though. It has front-mounted missiles, but they are not homing missiles, and they are really dangerous because, for example, you can see I'm on a slight incline here. Well, the problem is when you shoot these missiles on an incline, it's very easy to blow yourself up if you hit a little dip in the ground, because you can't survive any explosions with this vehicle. It makes it very scary to use in missions, especially if you're doing them on hard mode, because the last thing you want is to shoot a homing missile at something and then kill yourself. It has rear mortars, which is pretty nice. You can shoot little explosive rear mortars. It also has proximity mines. These are super dangerous. You can see what the proximity mines do. I should mention the Vapid Speedo Custom also has proximity mines. And then you obviously have the minigun mounted on the roof. Now, even though this is a dual minigun, and the Vapid Speedo Custom has a single minigun, they both deal the same damage, so nothing impressive in that category there. In general, the Weaponized Tampa definitely has big advantages over the Speedo Custom. It's faster, it can be used in missions, and it's definitely much more reliable in that category, but as I mentioned, it still has a decent chunk of downsides. And that brings us to the main vehicle of today's video, the Weaponized Ignus. I love the look of this car. it has so many things going for it. First of all, let's talk about the flat advantages it has over not only the Speedo Custom, but as well the Weaponized Tampa. First of all, it's way faster. The Weaponized Tampa goes around 115. This car can go 145 miles per hour at top speed, and it has the fastest lap time in the supers category. So not only is it insanely quick, but it also has ridiculously good cornering capabilities. This will be one of the most fun cars that you will drive in the game. Pair that with the fact that this also comes with semi-bulletproof glass. I can actually show that very quickly here. If I pull out my gun and I aim it on this front glass here, as you'll notice, the glass itself does not break, and it just simply gets a teeny bit damaged. It's going to take over 20 rounds before that glass shatters. You also feature a missile lock-on jammer. Both of the other vehicles do not feature that, and that's honestly a massive upgrade for this, because it means when you're driving in public lobbies, you don't have to worry about somebody homing in on you with a homing missile and just destroying you, because you can't survive any explosions in this, same as the other minigun vehicles. But hey, at least you're not going to be able to get locked onto, so that is a big advantage. And then obviously the big final advantage is that you have a minigun right on the roof, which we can see here does a lot of damage. And you're noticing where that bulletproof glass is definitely a big upside, because I can sit here and I can deal with just all of these enemies without really having to worry too much. I haven't taken really any damage yet. I don't even know if they've cut through the glass. Let's take you out. Try not to destroy that truck. I don't want to blow that truck up, but you're dead, you're dead. Yeah, they didn't even cut through my glass yet. Like, you can see why this is so nice. Take out you. Oh, darn, he's behind a car. What will I ever do? Actually, that thing has a decent amount of armor. I'm surprised. All right, I'll just mow you down anyway. It also has a decent amount of gun elevation, as we can see. It's a lot more than you would expect. You can't really see where it's shooting when you raise the gun up, but it doesn't matter too much. As we can see, this is just such a good vehicle. Like, you barely take any damage. I should also mention, because the back of it's completely bulletproof, if you're ever low on health, you just turn it to the rear like this, and then nobody actually ends up damaging you. But yeah, the Weaponized Ignus is the best of the best. It's one of the most fun mission vehicles you can use in the game. As I said, I think the only mission vehicle that really could technically beat it is the Vigilante. But I'd say it's different. The Vigilante has the rocket boost, the Vigilante has the missiles, but what the Vigilante doesn't have is infinite ammo. It doesn't have the maneuverability, and it definitely does not have that bulletproof glass, and that is a huge, huge capability for this vehicle. So there are definitely big dubs for the Weaponized Ignus. But you can let me know in the comments down below which of the three you like the best. The biggest downside of the Ignus is really just the price tag. It's going to cost you $4.5 million to buy. Now, thankfully, it's not like the Tampa, where you also need to upgrade it. It comes with the minigun mounted on it, which is obviously actually decent and not too big of a deal. And the HSW upgrade itself is fairly cheap at only $500,000. So you're still going to be spending a lot. You're going to be spending $5 million to get your hands on the Weaponized Ignus and fully upgrade it. But it's not as bad as you would think, especially when you don't have to put any of the weapons on it or anything else. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about the Weaponized Ignus. Let me know what you think about today's video, if you agree, if you disagree, and please consider smashing that subscribe button down below if you want to keep up to date with the newest and most relevant information about HSW vehicles, weaponized vehicles, money grinding, anything like that. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!